What's up, Wonder Woman warriors? Diane Kazer here, and I hope you can't hear the echo that I could hear of myself. Sometimes when we do these recordings, we have a little technology glitches, but hopefully it's not that bad. I'm interviewing today RACHAEL Pontillo, and she is totally amazing at a lot of things. But specifically today, we're going to talk about skincare because she's somebody I met a year ago, and I interviewed back then. She and I talked about how to create your own skincare. So she actually has an entire program where she teaches you how to customize formulas for your skin. Because a lot of people don't realize that the Botox, the fillers, the injectors, the crazy, nasty pharmaceutical stuff that you have to put on and in your body to get rid of acne, all that stuff that can actually be healed the way that she's teaching. So RACHAEL, thanks for being with us today for this short 15-minute or so clip. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? I'm so happy to be here.
I'm super good, and I'm glowing like you. Glowing.
You're totally glowing.
Because I use some of the things that you do in your program that you teach. So I wanted to, of course, we're going to talk about at the end of this how people can watch you again from here. But for right now, I just want to introduce you to my viewers because there's a lot of people looking for you. And I've told them for a while now that I wanted to introduce you guys. So verbal handshake, electronic handshake, high five, hug it out.
Yeah.
So many women today, and men too, but specifically most women, are very insecure about their skin, so that they've got lots of acne problems, and it doesn't matter what age. You know, we've got hormonal stuff going on. So today I want to specifically hit the heavy hitters. How do you help women and men with acne, and even teenagers, because it's happening to a lot of us? Acne, wrinkles, and sagginess and aging looks. So I want you to run with this because everybody has different hot points, and I know a lot of people are spending a lot of time putting all this chemical crap on their face and spending lots of money injecting stuff. And I used to do that too, but now I realize it's all from the inside, and then what you put on your skin matters so much. So run with that.
Awesome. Yeah, you're absolutely right. What you just said, hit it right there. What you put what you put in the inside of your body absolutely matters. But what you put on the outside totally matters too, because the skin absorbs up to 66% of what you apply, whether it's good stuff or bad stuff. So just like we want to nourish our body so that our body is able to produce healthy skin cells from the inside, and that's where healthy skin cells are produced. They're produced on the inside, and then they rise to the surface where they then die off and shed off on their own. So we do want to nourish the skin from the outside in, because some of that nourishment definitely does get inside. And we certainly want to protect and hydrate and all of that good stuff, because our skin is our first line of defense against the elements, against bacteria, viruses, all sorts of, germs and environmental aggressors. Our skin is our armor. So we want to make sure that it's intact and strong and tough and resilient. And just like the rest of our body, the way we do that is with nourishment. And while there are certainly chemicals in synthetically based products that say they do a certain thing, they might cause some kind of a response temporarily, but they're not going to have a long lasting effect, because they're not actually providing any nutrition to the skin topically. And then if you're not having nutrition from the inside, then you're not really affecting the skin from the inside out or from the outside in. So I really do take that really holistic approach and an integrative approach where I promote a whole foods based, fresh, healthy, nutrient dense diet, lots of hydration, essential fatty acids, all that wonderful, good, solid nutrition to really help our skin cells be plump and juicy and tough and resilient on the inside as they rise to the surface, so that by the time they get there, they are more hydrated and resilient, so that they look more vibrant and they look more plump, not all flat and scraggly and busted up. And if we have the incorrect nutrients, by the time they get to the surface, that's when we get lackluster, dull, dry, scratchy, icky looking skin. And a lot of people see that and they think, oh, I just need to put more cream on.
Right. But it's a deficiency of this chemical cream that I have that makes me look this way. It's not a deficiency of a healthy diet.
It really is important to use the right kind of products on the surface, because we want to keep that hydration in. We want to protect it. We want to prevent water, especially from evaporating from the skin, which it certainly can do if it's compromised. So we want a nice kind of moisture seal on the skin. We want those lipids intact. We don't want to scrub them away or zap them away, because the oils in our skin, which a lot of people dislike because they feel it makes them greasy or it makes them break out, is actually part of that skin armor. It's part of that natural moisturizing factor, which keeps the good stuff in and the bad stuff out. So we want to keep that intact as much as possible. And unfortunately, a lot of the topical stuff that is on the market, either at the department store or from the dermatologist's office or the drugstore, is made with synthetic chemical ingredients that disrupt that skin's natural barrier. And we also know from the Human Microbiome Project that not only do we want to worry about the gut microbiome, the integrity of the gut microbiome, but the skin itself has its own microbiome.
Yeah, that's so cool.
It's so cool. And they play together. So, you know, you want a healthy microbiome inside and out. But if you're using something that has a lot of antimicrobial or antibacterial ingredients, you're not only going to kill off any bad stuff, you're also going to kill off good stuff the same way as if you were to take an internal antibiotic.
Right there. Okay. So this is why I love you. And this is why I chose you to introduce you to my people. And I don't know if my people know this or not, but I'm really picky with who I introduce them to into the circle. It's like a sorority. And you're my skin sorority sister. Yeah. The things that you just talked about, as far as, you know, antimicrobial, all these hot phrases that people are used to, and they, you know, they're used to hearing these buzzwords that, oh, it's this, and I should listen for this, and I should totally buy this, and we've got like buy now, like flashing all over. I mean, we are consumer society, and they're people doing anything to sell anything. So I like how you take the actual inside and incorporate to the out that in with the outside, because not a lot of people realize that the two play together. So if I'm a person and this is what, you know, let's say my diet isn't perfect, or I'm like, oh, I'm nervous that she's going to, you know, make me change all this diet stuff and my skincare line. So can we just talk about skincare? So let's say that someone is like, I'm the person coming in wondering, you know, what it is that you do. I'm like, you know, Rachel, I eat pretty healthy. I do already eat a lot of essential fatty acids and greens and stuff. I just really want to learn, you know, I'm using all this chemical stuff on my face, or I think that it's bad for me, but I'm not really sure. I'm dabbling in, you know, essential oils and coconut oil. And I heard that coconut oil is good for my face, but then someone said maybe I shouldn't. So are you going to help me customize some stuff so that I know what's good for me?
Yeah, that is the core of what I do, because not only do I know about ingredients for internal and external skin health, but I'm also a licensed esthetician. So I know about skin health and what ingredients work for different skin combinations. And I say skin combinations because I don't believe that there are skin types. I believe that we are all individuals. We all have combination skin, but different combinations of factors make up each of our individual skin's needs. And just like our bodies change over time, our bodies change with the seasons, you know, how we like certain foods better during certain times of year, different climates, different times of life. The same thing happens with our topical skincare, because that's skin food for us. So my belief is that if we want long-term skin health, and you know, we could just focus on topical right now, because I understand how topical skincare is sometimes more accessible for people than doing a whole diet overhaul. And that's fine. For me, whatever brings people to a more holistic and integrative skincare regimen, we can focus on whatever you want to focus on, as long as we get there.
And the reason I say that, Rachel, is because a lot of my people have already been following me for a while and are already doing very warrior cleanse-ish lifestyle. Yeah. So they know the tenets of that. And if you talk about it, then it's great. It will re-solidify and re-emphasize the importance of inside health. And people need to hear things multiple times before they actually do them. So it's great that you are re-emphasizing that. But specifically today, we'll talk about the topical part.
Yeah. And you know what? The topical part, if you're already doing something like the warrior cleanse, which is so fantastic on the inside, this is the next natural progression for you.
Right.
This is because our skin is not separate from the inside of our body. It's not just like clothing that we take on and off. It is connected to everything. The inside and outside are connected. So when we use ingredients that come from nature, that nourish our skin topically in the same way that foods nourish it from the inside, that is when we have the best results. And when we make changes to that regimen, whether it's in a product, it might be changing up an essential oil blend for the seasons. It might be adding a different emollient for the colder weather than we use for the warmer weather. If we are experiencing a new symptom, it might be just tweaking some of the extracts that we use to make it better. But most people, you might have experienced this, that you've used a skincare product for a while, it works great, and then all of a sudden it doesn't work anymore. Has that ever happened to you?
Oh yeah, totally. It's like Ayurveda.
Right?
Yeah.
Happens all the time. And then people get really frustrated and feel like they have to go back to the drawing board, and then they try new products, and it can get really expensive. It's time consuming. They might do a lot of research and ask people, oh, what's a good skincare product for this? What's the best skincare product for this? But it doesn't matter what somebody else says, because they're not living in your skin. They don't have your skin. I believe that just like we need to cook our own food, we should make our own skincare. And making skincare is almost exactly like making food, because I do it myself in my kitchen. And when you use these natural ingredients and you add your own energy into it, I really liken it to kind of saying a prayer when you're cooking your food or putting good vibes into something.
Yeah.
And if you think about how loving it is to apply skincare to your face, that is really self-care and self-love so perfectly. You are lovingly touching your own skin, you're nourishing it. It feels good, it smells good. It's a beautiful experience. So when we customize, we're treating ourselves as the individuals that we are. And when we put the time in, we are really just nourishing the goddesses, the high value people, individuals that we truly are. And a lot of people do ask me, is it really time consuming? I don't have time to make products. It's not. It takes less time to make enough moisturizer to last you for 6 months than it takes you to cook one meal.
And never mind spending a lot of money and time looking on Amazon at all the reviews of what works for some but may not work for you, which is why there's bipolar reviews sometimes. Literally the time I spend trying to find the next best thing for my skin when I'm having said skin issue, specifically for me right now, it's the puffiness around the eyes. I don't know if you can see it, but like the puffiness and the wrinkle and, this hooded eyelid stuff going on, here's me over here picking myself apart, which is part of why I'm interviewing you for another project right now in self-image. But I literally spend probably an hour before I buy one product online looking at reviews and stuff. So that time for me, it's like $150. So I would rather just have you tell me how to navigate it so I don't have to spend another hour the next 6 months when I run out of that other said product. So it just makes sense. And when you said what you just said about nourishing your skin and loving on your body, I'm thinking that the opposite of that, which is what the majority of women and men too are doing now. It's like when they're buying these chemical-laden products, it's like spraying Roundup, pesticides, gas exhaust, flame retardant, insect repellent.
Endocrine disruptors, neurotoxins, carcinogens,
Cancer.
Organ toxins. I mean, come on. But you really hit on something there, because, a lot of these synthetic chemically based products
hard to say
ingredients that are so harsh. It is really aggressive, and using them is not loving on our skin. It's attacking our skin. You see a spot, let's burn it off. You see something you don't like, let's scrub it off. We have this aggressive tendency to punish our skin for trying to do its job as a messenger, for telling us, oh my God, there's something going on inside. When instead we should be loving it, thanking it for telling us, hey, what's going on here? And then looking for ways that we can, thank the messenger, calm it down, and then look deeper. But by thanking the messenger and applying the right topical ingredients, not only are we practicing self-care and self-love, but we can in essence calm those symptoms. And in my course, I teach people specifically, how to figure out what the full story with their skin is, so that they know where it's been, where it is now. And also we look ahead, because it is my belief that if you're treating the skin that you have now over and over again, you will always be treating the skin that you have now. So we need to look at the future. We need to look at what your skin goals are. what do you want your skin to look like in 1 year, in 5 years, in 10 years, and make decisions on products based on not only the skin you have now, but what your skin's goals are for the future. And I teach people how to do that in a very practical way. And I also teach people how, if their skin does change, they don't have to go back to square one. They can just go right into their formula that they've crafted for themselves and just make a little tweak here and there. I call them tweakables.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Sounds like a little cereal, but a gluten-free healthy one.
Of course. So it's really user-friendly. It's really practical. And it's the whole point is the customizableness. I don't know if that's a word.
That's definitely in the dictionary.
Totally.
Yes.
So yeah, it's really my goal. I want to support people as they find what works for them. And if there's somebody who has a coaching practice or a skincare practice, I teach them how to actually do that for their clients too, because that's what I do for my clients. So, and it works. It totally works.
And I've got a lot of doctors and practitioners and nurses and massage therapists and yoga teachers that are among my tribe that I know want to learn this stuff and then can pass it on to their families, family members, kids, lots of kids stuff too. So our next generation doesn't have to be exposed to the exhaust pipe that is the chemical products that we put on our face now that make us sick, fat, depressed, nearly dead. So yeah, especially around the décolleté. Am I saying it right? Décolleté.
Yep. Décolleté, décolletage, whichever you like.
And we're putting like these lotions and stuff right here, and that's your thyroid. That's what burns your fat. You burn fat here. You burn fat here. So if you're covering it up with chemicals, you're not burning fat efficiently, and you're more tired, and you wonder why. And maybe you can't get pregnant either. So,
all these chemically based products, a lot of them are xenoestrogens, which are synthetic estrogens that our body does not know what to do with, and it can't handle it. But when you put on natural ingredients, you get phytochemicals that the body actually knows what to do with. It recognizes them. It says, come on in, just like it says to food, come on in. It's a very similar mechanism.
Yep. And you said something earlier that I know that you say something very similar to this that get people to remember it. And you said it was something like, I mean, this is what I summarized it as, is these ingredients that are on the label are as hard to pronounce as they are for our body to digest them.
Totally.
And so they become like these, estrogens, and then we have deficiencies in hormones and imbalances, and then because it fights for receptor sites, and then we have estrogen problems and cancer. And so all of this stuff, I know you're going to cover in an upcoming webinar, which I'm going to, you guys, I'm going to put the link over here for you guys so that you can follow that and join us. I'll be there. And then also, depending on whenever you're watching this, RACHAEL always has awesome, really freebie, cool stuff that you guys can watch to learn more about what she's doing, specifically just up to date, because there's always new research. That's the other thing I love about you, is that you're always on top of the science. You're not just spouting out stuff because you read it somewhere on Wikipedia or on a Google site. So how much science-based are you? Where are you getting information from?
So that's a really good question. Science is important. Chemistry is important. I absolutely follow it and keep up to date with it and share it with my students and my audience, just like you said. But I also look back to traditional wisdom like herbalism, aromatherapy. These are practices that have been around for thousands of years and have been used in small communities of women to help each other look and feel their best. And to me, there's so much power there. So I really focus on the art and the design of products as well as the science. So I have an aromatherapist who is a registered clinical aromatherapist who oversees all of the aromatherapy information that is taught on my site. I just did a webinar with a cosmetic chemist. So I always have people in my loop that are overseeing the material that I put into the course. And if there's anything new that comes out that needs to be updated, I update it. And all of my students have lifelong access to all of the materials, both the live courses. They can take it again with us anytime they want to. They can join the live calls, or they can take it at their pace, whatever they want to do. But if there's an update, they get access to that update. So they're always getting the newest information as it comes out, because skin health is a rapidly advancing field. And the new field of nutritional aesthetics, which I am co-founder of, is an area that we're also focusing a lot of research in. And that is really promoting that skin health link, the significance of the skin health link. And there's going to be a lot more science coming out of that will reflect back into what I teach about topical skincare. And that will all get updated in the course as more information comes into light.
I love that you just said that, because one of my last questions was, what is the future of skincare? Because
This is it.
Yeah, as a practitioner of customizing everything nutrition with their diet and supplementation and rotating and following the seasons and customizing everything, that is the future of skincare too, is no different. So guys, it's not just like take this cream and it works for you. Can you tell them one of the things that stunned me the first time, that coconut oil for the skin is not just good for everyone, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Oh my God. So yeah, this is a good thing to leave you on. This is like the cliffhanger. Ready? So you may have read that coconut oil is like a panacea. Got acne, use coconut oil. Got rosacea, use coconut oil. Have a rash, use coconut oil. Have dry, itchy scalp, use coconut oil.
My arm is being cut off, use coconut oil to glue
nail
back.
beds, coconut oil.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? A lot of people who have acne break out worse from coconut oil. A lot of people who already have dry, sensitive skin get flaky, peely skin from coconut oil. And that's because coconut oil, even though in theory it sounds like a really good idea because it has those antimicrobial properties, antifungal properties, it's very moisturizing, the chemical composition of the fatty acids are not compatible with a lot of people who have oilier skin or acne-prone skin. The chemistry does not work. So it ends up being comedogenic, which means it can clog the pores. And if you're someone who breaks out, the last thing you need is to have your pores clogged. And if you're someone with dry or sensitive skin, coconut oil also has strong drawing properties. You may have heard or read that it can be used effectively for oil pulling. It's similar to castor oil in that way that it draws things out of the skin, which can be good for some things and some people. But if you're someone who has a really delicate acid mantle, if you're someone who has a compromised microbiome, you don't need that much activity on the skin, and it is not the right oil for you. So here's the cliffhanger. There is an oil for everyone, whether you have oily skin, dry skin, sensitive skin, acne-prone skin. It does not matter what skin type you have. There is an oil for you. There is an emollient that comes from a plant for you, but you have to find out what that is. And that's something I can help you do.
Boom.
Boom.
Mic drop. Door opens, door slams. Yeah. So that's it, guys. That's what we got for you today. I mean, she's the expert. I'm going to let her roll on this stuff because I was just like everybody else using coconut oil and still do. You know, I use it. I wake up in the morning and I massage my lymph and try to get this eye puffiness reduced, which is actually what I'm inviting you guys to. So come with me. The link's going to be here for you guys. So join me in this one where Rachel is going to teach us a lot about essential oils in this one, and then what kind of oil that you might want to use. And then beyond that, there's going to be a whole bunch of other stuff that you guys can join us with if you'd like. So thank you so much, Rachel, for being with us today for this brief interview. I'm sure everyone learned a lot, and whatever you've got going on for the rest of the day, have fun at ballet.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It was great to do this and great to be here with you and with all of you. Thank you for listening.
Cool. May the clear, beautiful, glowing skin be with all of you, and you too, Rachel.